right, so let's go and create the sides here, right? And really all we need is a plank that just sits on the side of these two caps here. So again, I'm just going to create a box for this. And what I want to do is I want to make sure that this particular box is set so it's thinnest on the Z direction there. And really the height and stuff like that we can control with the end cap's height. So this end plank right here. So all I want to do is get the Y. So I'm just going to copy that parameter and paste that parameter. There we go. And I want to make sure that I get the length. So the length of this box is the Z direction, right? We can get that from our create length line. So I'm going to get this guy and paste that in for the Z. There we go. And what we can do is we can tie the thickness of this to the thickness of this end plank, which makes sense. They probably made the box, if we look at the reference, they probably made the box with the same type of wood for all the way around, so we should probably keep the thicknesses the same as well. It just helps it feel more believable. All right, so let's go and do that. So I'm going to go here, and that length is the Z right here, or that width for the plank. So we're just going to use this now as the global width for all wood planks. So this Z direction here. So let's just put that into the X direction for this guy. There we go. So now they're all the same. So meaning when I go and change this parameter, it'll change every other wood plank. So we can control that stuff now procedurally. Cool. All right. So what we need to do is create two copies of this guy. So we can use the length here, or I'm sorry, excuse me, the width of the end cap here. So what I can do is transform this out like so. And let's actually give this, we'll call this the create side plank, like so. And what I want to do is make sure that first off, the plank itself is actually centered. All right, so let's just center this guy. We don't need that extra offset. And what we actually should do is make sure that this particular guy is sitting positive, or sitting on the positive X. So its backside here is right on that. That's what we can do, because this is controlling that. We can come down here and just do the $xmax. There you go. All right, so very cool. So we can do that. And then what I want to do is I want to get the width from this normal right here. So we'll just call this final end caps. Like so. And the reason why I'm doing that is because then it's easier to find when we're typing out our expressions here. Okay, so we'll say Xmax plus the BB box of final end caps, like so. And we want the D Zmax, no, Xmax, sorry. And that'll put that out on the side. So if I merge these two guys together here, they're now sitting perfectly. All right, and it looks like we're going to have to add a little bit extra, and that's really just the width of these wood planks here. But before we go and do that, let's also do a mirror. So let's just mirror this guy onto the X direction as well. Now we have the other side. Easy as that. Cool. So now we have the two sides, and if I were to change the width of this end plank here, those two pieces go together. Cool. And you know, after looking at the reference, it looks like these end supports are pretty much right on the end, so we don't need too much of the offset. And let's also give this a name, so offset. And that's probably a little too vague. So you can see now we can change that offset just a little bit. Just a little bit less. There you go. Feels better. All right, so we are good there. So what we can do is add another normal. And that'll clean those guys up. And then what the final thing really that we need to do at this point is just get that extra little bit of offset there. Okay. And that is just the width of the end plank. So let's take this size here, copy that parameter. We'll come in here and we just need to add the that width there, or that value that we just copied. So paste relative reference and then multiply it by point. Actually, no, we're fine because we need it on both sides. And that was the wrong one. It's actually the Z. Size Z, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. So now it's exactly perfect. So we can create a little bit of offset just to make it feel a little more realistic. That's a little too much, but now at least we have a value that we can change to allow us to give it some personality. Right? We can also randomize all that stuff. But again, I just want to get these basic pieces all set up here. Okay, so that's pretty good. And I think I'll leave the video there. And then in the next video, we will create the tops and the bottom. Thanks so much.